Hello there, a very warm welcome to UBC News Tonight with me, Sharon Kyomugisha. Today on a beautiful 1st of May 2026, happy Labour's Day to everyone who is employed, self-employed and is still trying to figure out life by working. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha once again, and welcome to UBC News Tonight. We'll start off with Uganda, which has the capacity to create surplus jobs if only the country's natives can wake up and embrace economic transformational initiatives. This is the message that President Yoweri Museveni carried for Ugandans as the country joined the rest of the world to celebrate International Labour Day. Museveni put emphasis on the 4-acre farming model as the way to go for Uganda, warning against continued pursuing of non-economically beneficial education courses in the Ugandan job market. We have a detailed report from Okuruti.
Boots on the ground, with smartness at its peak. As this celebratory mood painted Bishop Nkoyoyo Primary School in Matale, Buikwe District. It was International Labour Day, and Uganda was privileged to be part. Behind the celebration were some missing links as enumerated.
You hear of unemployment. We have too many graduates coming out, but you know people are qualifying and their qualifications cannot match the available jobs. We want to ask you, sir, if possible, there should be a reform in our educational system so that we train people with relevant qualifications that match the available jobs in the field.
The policy for promoting ICT, innovation, robotics has placed Ugandan youth among some of the most top Ugandans and Africans that are doing wonders around the world.
The plight of the fishing community did not miss out in the submissions, to the extent of capturing the attention of the president.
Chokesaawa zino abantu baffe tebamanyi kyakukola gye bali eyo ku mbalama z'ennyanja. Tukusaba nti ekiwandiiko ekyo bakyanguyeko abantu baffe bafune obutimba obulungi batandike okukola ate balabire famire zaabwe.
Omujjuzo ku nnyanja gulina okuba n'ekikomo.
Therefore there must be a limit at the lake or the water bodies.
Abantu bameka abasobola kuvuba kyenkanawa?
How many people should be involved in the fishing industry?
And for how much? By how much?
Era nga bali bameka bafuna mmeka
bavuba kyenkanawa?
How much are they fishing or collecting from the water bodies?
So we can't go on with buli ayagadde ali mu nyanja, buli ayagadde ali mu nyanja.
However, such challenges could be addressed if only other initiatives are embraced. The 4-acre model is the answer, according to the president.
Uganda has got arable land of 40 million acres. If only 7 million of them were used like Nyakana is doing, and each one employed 15 people, would create 105 million jobs. More jobs than the whole population of Uganda.
The president also agrees with the proposal to change the education system.
But even the children who have already got this SWASWA and all those, you can go back for retouring. You just get a certificate or a diploma in...
Naye n'abasomye abatikkiddwa nga batikkiddwa mu ezo diguli z'ayogeddeko osobola okuddayo n'ofunayo ebbaluwa entonotono naye ng'ekuyamba okufuna omulimu.
There was, it may take time, when during my PDM tour I met many of the young people who had done that.
President bwe yeetoolodde eggwanga lino ng'alambula PDM asanze abantu bangi ab'enjawulo
who have retooled themselves.
Nga bazzeeyo ne basoma ebyo ebibagasa okufuna emirimu.
Leaders in attendance agreed with the president.
Casualization of labor dormitories for workers in factories and all those factors.
Although we are trying to put in place efforts to address the unemployment, especially among the younger people. We have an industrial park as a government policy. It's up and running, but the industrial park is not enough. So we are going to look for other opportunities, especially skilling.
Including addressing challenges of the fishing community and introducing the minimum wage.
And the minister clearly explained the procedures where we have reached, what we are discussing, and the efforts that have been put in place to make sure that minimum wage is put in this country.
So when he talks about the omujuzo, is that because when there are so many fishermen on the lake, then the fish cannot be fished. We have no fish completely.
Let the fishing community not only look at fishing as the only source of livelihood, but let it engage in other income-generating activities.
At the end of the day, it was a celebration worth the time, with about 50 people awarded with medals. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Thank you so much, Henry Okrut. In more stories, the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robert Nabanja, has directed that all the illegal activities in Bugoma Forest should stop with immediate effect. The directive comes after a tragedy in which 28 people are believed to be dead when a canoe boat they were sailing capsized in River Nguse in Kagadi district on Tuesday this week. The Prime Minister today visited the affected communities to condole with the bereaved families and delivered President Museveni's condolences of 150 million Ugandan shillings to be shared among the affected families.
On Tuesday this week at Kamata village in Kagadi district, a tragedy befell this community. A canoe boat capsized in River Nguse, killing at least 28 people. Today, the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robert Nabanja, visited the scene at the banks of the River Nguse to condole with the bereaved families.
Omushijo mwe yahengama kuyahengamire desi ya mugambira leka kuhengama otita abantu ya mukwatanga nimwemerere kurungi kuyabere yayemerera yashuba yahinduka yanago mukono ngwe desi komanyoko iryato ryaju ryarerera uburya amezi kurya amezi ryahinduka ryagaruka nyuma nanyo wenkaba mu mulyato omwo twali nturuganseri ntwambuka obwire buyizire batugenzere kweyiye koko manyire embera yese nuko kweri twemerire korungi ngoza kubagambira otinisa president Yoweri Kaguta Museveni abaramukize akuganya nayinywe abaganyire muno habukufera abantu banyu nabwesonge yabo kuganya buli afere iwe buli maka ampaire milioni 5 abantu 30 nizo milioni 15 nyinazana.
The Marine Police led by Sulaiman Kirungi have since recovered 8 bodies by this evening out of 39 people on board and 11 survived.
Baitu tubaziro bakaba abantu 39 ababaira haliato. Abantu 39 obujulizi bwe tutungire nka polisi twakatunga nti bantu 11 no basoboire kuba nti bakasurvivinga 11 of them. Mu bantu abasigayireho bona tukyabatoza baitu nkwa kwa amahoro amarongi nti kuruga ijo bwe twatandikire twakazora abantu 8 saha zino nti timu yaito kyaloho maizi nobukugu okurante kutoza abantu abasigayire.
The Prime Minister has now directed that all the illegal activities in Bugoma Forest should stop with immediate effect.
I am directing that all those who have been burning charcoal across in Bugoma Forest must stop forthwith. We are not going to work on that road because that road will facilitate people to go and do illegal activities in the forest. We cannot allow people to die just like this. Because some people are from Busoga. I've been told here some people are from Nkoko in my home village. They are coming here for illegal activities. That must stop today. Today I am going to call the minister in charge of tourism and wildlife and antiquities to come and seal off this place. Timwayongera kujayo oko. Ebyo bikozi waki? Munyetegereze. Nabali omukibira mbagambe ngu bajja kusibwa. I direct police to handle those people. Abali omukibira genda obayeyo and arrest them.
Nabanja also directed police to ban all the canoe boats on River Nguse.
So the boats on this river are null and void with effect from today. So I have directed the police to ban all those small boats on that river. Losing 30 people is unprecedented. And so, using the powers as the Prime Minister of Uganda, I am stopping charcoal burning in that forest. Because people who are dying here are not from this place. Some of them are from Busoga. I'm told the others came from Kabarole. Others came from far, far areas, including my village. One introduced himself here, that is from my village in Nkoko. From here to Nkoko, it is around 100 kilometers. And so, since the president had already given a directive, so I'm going to, before I sleep today, I would have handed over that forest so that tomorrow the Wildlife Authority can take over.
These directives come soon after the president had ordered the Chief of Defense Forces to investigate allegations that some UPDF officers were involved in illegal logging of Bugoma Forest.
Indeed unprecedented. We pray that the Lord strengthens the families of those lives that were lost. Moving on, Uganda's fight against poverty took center stage as the president applauded the efforts of Team Thara, led by coordinator Pastor Mbabazi Robert, for their growing impact across the country. The commendation delivered on his behalf by Minister of Public Service, Honorable Muruli Mukasa, came during a vibrant Virtuous Women's celebration held at Makerere University Business School Playground. The event drew thousands of Team Thara members and exhibitors from across Uganda, showcasing initiatives aimed at empowering communities and transforming livelihoods.
The minister representing President Yoweri Museveni commended Pastor Mbabazi Robert, the national coordinator of Team Thara, for his efforts in eradicating poverty and creating wealth in Uganda through the implementation of government poverty eradication programs and grassroots level workshops.
I wish to thank Pastor Mbabazi Robert, coordinator of Team Thara, for spearheading the organization of today's events and inviting me to join the wealth creators taking part in the Thanksgiving prayers and exhibition.
Pastor Mbabazi Robert also serves as presidential advisor on poverty eradication programs, reaffirmed his commitment to continue fighting poverty by establishing demonstration farms and further implementing government initiatives across communities.
Today we have launched this program together with all our committed organized groups from different areas. We have groups of value addition, the groups of commercial agriculture, the groups of services, groups of ICT, and the groups of industries.
Honorable Fred Rohindi, MP-elect of Nakawa West, urged Ugandans to fully embrace mindset change and effectively utilize available resources to achieve sustainable development.
Now, what you use on the 4 acres, if you use it on the 100 acres which you have, where would you be? That's the message. So the biggest challenge we have is our mindset.
Assistant Resident City Commissioner Babide Erima encouraged women to actively participate in government programs such as Parish Development Model, Emyoga and Grow Project as means to reduce poverty in Uganda. Susan, alongside other women, called on the public to embrace value addition and expressed gratitude to the government of Uganda through Pastor Mbabazi Robert for empowering them to become virtuous and self-reliant women.
My message to the women of Nakawa and Uganda at large is that they should engage themselves into poverty eradication programs.
Because our concern is about health and wealth. We want people to get out of poverty.
The event was held under the theme Virtuous Women, a woman of substance contributing to sustainable development in Ugandan communities.
Now, in more stories, the Ministry of Internal Affairs has deported a second batch of foreign nationals arrested in Bukoto, Kampala, for violating Uganda's immigration laws. Authorities say that the individuals were found operating without valid work permits. The group has since been processed, fined and returned to their respective countries. Kahwa Robert, Assistant Commissioner in the Department of Inspection and Compliance at the Directorate of Citizenship and Immigration Control, says that the deportation are being carried out in phases, and he has urged the public to report foreign nationals operating outside the law. We have the update as you take a look.
What we have been witnessing here today is the removal of the second batch of illegal immigrants who had been apprehended in Bukoto. Under intelligence-led inspection, we were able to apprehend 169 illegal immigrants. These have been processed, they have been investigated, and have been found to have breached the immigration laws of Uganda. So as a result, we have taken them through the due process, and we are having them removed from the country. They have been fined, each one of them has been fined, and the money has been paid directly to URA. Now the process that is on is that they have all provided air tickets and are being removed to their home countries. The total number of people we had apprehended was 169. Of those, 28 were ladies and 141 were males. As of today, as I speak, yesterday we took the first batch, which was 23. This morning we have taken the second batch, which is 18, and later on today we are going to take more, and also tomorrow. The challenge we have is that most of the flights are full, and that's why we cannot take them in mass at the same time. But they are all going to be removed from the country as scheduled, each one of them. If we find you in a work environment, if we find you working, then you are misusing that visitor's visa. A visitor's visa allows you to come and visit, to tour the country, but not engage in work. If you are to engage in work, then you have to get the relevant facility, which is called a work permit. So once we find you working without a work permit, then you have already breached the immigration laws of Uganda. If you are here as a visitor, then you are here as a visitor. But if you are working, then you are also going to evade taxes, because you are supposed to pay taxes if you are working. Then you are also supposed to pay for the permit. That permit is supposed to contribute to the non-tax revenue of Uganda. So if you work without a work permit, then you are also evading the payment of money to the government of Uganda. That is the major problem we have, because you are working but Uganda is earning nothing. You are earning money but you're not paying back to the government of Uganda. The message I would like to pass on to Ugandans is that please, if in your communities you have immigrants who you are not certain of, please report to the Department of Immigration, to the Directorate of Immigration, and we shall take the necessary action. We are always looking out. I told you I am from the Department of Inspection and Compliance, where I'm an Assistant Commissioner, and please, any information given to us, we shall act accordingly to make sure that these people are apprehended and either regularize their stay, and that is what I want to appeal to all immigrants who are coming to work. They should regularize their stay in the country so that we do not come after them.
Job well done by Internal Affairs. Now, Workers' Member of Parliament Aline Rakajara has assured the public that the introduction of the minimum wage is at an advanced stage. This follows various attempts to have the legislation which have hit a dead end. Rakajara reveals that the President has provided guidance on how the minimum wage should be harmonized to benefit all sectors of the economy. Daniel Mugoya reports.
During the celebrations to mark International Labour Day, President Yoweri Museveni proposes to secure land alongside industrial parks to enhance the accommodation of workers. This follows the growing industries and the manufacturing sector, creating jobs for millions of Ugandans.
We are going to make sure that we make it part of our policy that an industrial park, we must get land nearby maybe not the investors himself, we can get other people to invest in that land provided by the government. We shall get investors to build low-cost houses.
Bagenda kufuna ba musiga nsimbi bazimbe ennyumba ku sente ntonotono
nearby
nga ziri kumpi n'ebibangirizi bya bannamakolero.
As part of the industrial park development,
the president has hinted at areas of improvement to attract more investors into the manufacturing industry.
Apart from peace, what is disturbing the industrialists is power.
Transport costs.
Then you add transport costs oba ebisale ebyentambula. That's why government is now investing in the rail line, the train.
In an interview with the Workers' MP Arina Itre Rakajara, the existing trade unions have ensured an effective response to the concerns and issues affecting the workers across the country.
However, so many are missing. We don't really say that all workers are happy or justice or fairness at workplaces is 100%.
The legislator reveals how President Yoweri Museveni has welcomed the move to prioritize the introduction of the minimum wage in the next financial year.
However, a minimum wage that is well analyzed, that will not affect either side, either employees or employers, investors and government. Because the government has its own agenda. It is planning to bring more investors by a certain percentage in this country. So, all this analysis must be done before minimum wages is set.
This follows several attempts to have the legislation, but in vain. Rakajara says all sectors have been aligned to ensure that the legislation is a success. The minimum wage will also consider the informal sector.
We have proposed a very good minimum wage process on how to fix the process. You must have a board of a representative board where employers, government and employees sit and determine the minimum wages, how it should be set. Number two, it should be sectoral.
Parliament last week passed the Income Tax Amendment Bill 2026, raising the pay-as-you-earn threshold to 335,000 shillings. Workers' MP Rakajara says this will motivate more players into the working space.
It is a good idea, it is a good move that as the costs of living increases, then the government should be considerate that some of the people should be helped to be exempted.
Daniel Mugoya, Greg Tabinji, UBC News.
Uganda is battling a challenge of translating the economic growth into taxable revenue. According to the Minister of State for Finance in charge of general duties, Henry Musasizi, Uganda's economy is projected to grow further with the inclusion of the oil revenue. However, the tax to GDP ratio is affected by the low tax base. By the end of June 2026, the economy is expected to grow by 7%, but with a stagnated GDP ratio at 13%. Musasizi spoke with UBC TV's Daniel Mugoya on why more Ugandans remain poor despite the impressive GDP figures. Take a look.
The recent Multidimensional Poverty Index report released by the Uganda Bureau of Statistics indicates that at least 12 million Ugandans are struggling with multiple forms of poverty and deprivation. This is despite the government's assurance that the economy has maintained growth in each financial year. In the financial year 2025-2026, the economy grew at 6% and is expected to register 7% at the end of June 2026. The question remains, why does the economic growth not translate into over 12 million Ugandans? The Minister of State for Finance in charge of general duties, Henry Musasizi, responds.
It is not true
that the GDP is not translating into jobs. Yes, there are people in this economy who continue to struggle to get jobs. But those with the right skills, people get. Look at, for example, there is a restaurant here, the one of, it is called the Java's restaurant. When you enter there, you see the girls and the boys running around, those who have jobs.
Musasizi attributes the vice to a challenge to turn the growth into tax revenue.
Because what happens now, our tax to GDP is say 14%, and our expenditure to GDP is about 23%. So what does that mean? It means that the deficit between 14 and 23 is mainly financed by borrowing. So which is a challenge?
Uganda is projecting its first oil by July 2026. The government is optimistic that oil revenue will double the digits of the tax to GDP ratio.
So the GDP is projected to come to over $80 billion next financial year. So you can see we are on course of growing our economy tenfold by year 2040.
Corruption at the Uganda Revenue Authority, tax evasion, and the increasing informal sector are holding back Uganda's efforts to raise enough revenue. The introduction of digital systems like IFRIS is part of the solution.
We must make sure that most of the businesses are registered for tax purposes, because if we are to make progress, we must reduce the interface, the human interface, especially in the tax collection.
Minister Musasizi also connects the time period for some investments to realize returns, which also partly contributes to poverty.
For example, if you do a factory now, to begin realizing good returns, maybe after 5 or 10 years. The investment we have made in PDM will definitely realize returns, but they may not be immediate returns.
Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gwitabinji, UBC News.
The Minister for Youth and Children's Affairs, Balam Bargahada, has commended Dave Biopharma for stepping on the list of proprietors spearheading the growth of pharmaceutical industry in Uganda. Balam is optimistic that the development of the pharmaceutical industry will not only contribute to the health sector, but also provide both direct and indirect jobs to the youth.
Dai Biopharma is a major pharmaceutical and biotechnology manufacturing facility situated in Matoga, a Kampala suburb. Minister of Science and Technology and Innovation, Dr. Monica Musenero, and Minister for Youth and Children Affairs at the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, Balam Bargahada, conducted an on-site visit to the facility.
Industrialization is the backbone of transformation, turning a nation into a producer other than a consumer, creating jobs, wealth, and also securing dignified future for our young people and for our country and the people of Uganda. I want to thank the President for being strategic. Many leaders we read about today, like Julius Nyerere, he said independence without development is meaningless. So he advocated for industrialization as a key to development. That is when Tanzania got independence, I think in 1963. Then Kwame Nkrumah, he said they must industrialize their country or they perish. That's Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana. Mahatma Gandhi, he said India's salvation lies in the growth of its industries. Right now, India, which was a third world country, is an emerging economy under BRICS. but also it has overtaken UK as the 4th or 5th largest economy in the whole world due to industrialization. And India focused on medicine and IT. That's what has made India. So when the president decided to invest in India, I was among the doubting Thomas who thought, what is the president trying to do? Dumping $250 million and adding more money in this factory. I thought the president wasn't being he wasn't being kind enough. But now today, when I decided that I should come and see, 1, meet the young people who work here, 2, associate and hear from them their stories, 3, see who are the people working here.
So one of the issues that they is solving is that we are now going to have very high quality drugs. Let me say we now have made in Uganda, they are analyzed. If it is Panadol, it has enough Panadol. And you know that it is made here. We will make sure that there is very high quality. You're not going to get fake drugs.
They commended Day by Pharma for investing in the manufacture of critical drugs that can treat sickle cell, pressure, as well as cancer, an intervention that will reduce dependence on imported pharmaceutical products.
To thank the president. You know, people don't understand our president. He's a person who cannot go into a fake thing. Once he puts his foot down, you know there is something there. Because this is his vision. This is his effort. For us as a company, and of course banks, Equity Bank spent here almost 400 billion, and other banks, UDB put here almost 100 billion, Tropical Bank put here almost 50 billion, NEC Bank put here almost. So locally we mobilize more than 500 billion to set up this. On top of that, us together with our partners in the US, we so far invested about 2 trillion. Government has brought in 724 billion.
Minister Barugahala is optimistic that the development of the facility will provide both direct and indirect job opportunities to the youth.
Our factory deserves all the support. We should support the president's idea to industrialize, to make our economy strong. The only way we can make our economy strong is purely we need to invest in long-term national strength, not just short-term gains. We should stop looking at short-term gains, but invest in long-term national strength. And one of the first strengths is having our own industry. 1, we are creating jobs at a large scale. Like Mr. Magola said, Dr. Magola, we shall have 40,000 jobs at 250 acres. We are having more jobs in Namasagari, which was a place there in Namasagari where the railways stopped or started in 1923.
Government of Uganda invested over 724 billion. The facility is expected to transform Uganda's health sector by producing up to 85% of the country's essential drugs locally.
Still in UBC News tonight, State Minister for Luweero Rwenzori Triangle, Alice Kaboyo, has assured learners, teachers and parents in Busoga sub-region of the government's commitment to improve the learning environment. Kaboyo made these remarks as she presided over the commissioning of 3 classroom structures at various schools in Luka, Buyende and Namaingo districts in Busoga sub-region, fully funded by the Office of the Prime Minister.
The learning environment for many students in the Busoga sub-region has long been affected by poor infrastructure, impacting the quality of education. To address this challenge, the Office of the Prime Minister, through the Ministry for Luweero Rwenzori Triangle and Busoga Affairs, has constructed modern classroom blocks in several districts. Beneficiary schools include Lambara Primary School in Luka District, Irapa Primary School in Buyende District, and Inaguji College in Namaingo District. The State Minister for Luweero Rwenzori Triangle, Alice Kaboyo, commissioned the facilities on behalf of the government and officially handed them over to the school management. At Lambara Primary School in Luka District, the head teacher welcomed the development, describing it as timely support that will greatly improve the learning conditions.
With the help of these new structures here, we hope to improve the performance in various directions.
The resident district commissioner of Luka, Michael Chibwika, noted that the district continues to benefit from several government programs aimed at poverty alleviation and improved service delivery.
We have been beneficiaries of a number of programs from your ministry. We benefited from the iron sheets that were given out to replace the asbestos.
The minister later proceeded to Uyende district, where she commissioned a 3-classroom block at Irapa Primary School. Head teacher Mwenze Mwajuma expressed appreciation for the new classrooms, but also highlighted ongoing challenges affecting the school.
Lack of staff quarters. Also, we have a challenge of water source.
In Namaingo district, Minister Kavoyo commissioned another 3-classroom block at Enaguji College fully furnished. She urged both students and teachers to make proper use of the facilities to improve academic performance. The chief administrative officer and the school head teacher emphasized that the new infrastructure will expand learning opportunities not only for students in Buswale sub-county but across the entire district.
But this commission is not all about opening of classes, but it's opening opportunities for our younger ones.
Tukozesa ebijambiya okukibikirira awoni abaana basobola okusoma. Aye gavumenti yaija yatuwaayo ekizimbe
ng'enkuba wejja kaleeba kuba naye kati gavumenti ya NRM they constructed for us a building.
Minister Kaboyo assured learners across Busoga that the government remains committed to improving the education sector and creating a better learning environment.
We shall keep supporting our communities and people, veterans, and in this affirmative action that we are mandated with.
Each of the new constructed classroom blocks is equipped with a water tank and a 5-stance pit latrine. The projects were implemented by the Uganda People's Defence Forces Engineering Brigade and funded by the Office of the Prime Minister. Andrew Sebira compiled this report for UBC.
Persons with disabilities across East Africa have called on the East African Legislative Assembly to urgently pass the East African Community Persons with Disabilities Bill 2024 before the current parliamentary term expires. The call was made during the first stakeholders consultative meeting held at Farewell Hotel, where leaders and advocates emphasized the need for a unified regional legal framework to safeguard the rights and dignity of persons with disabilities. The PWD's bill draws from key international and regional human rights instruments, including the United Nations Framework, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and the African Charter on Human and People's Rights.
Is this bill becoming a law, especially around this term, before ELA closes, because they're also about to close and enter into a new term. So what we really want to see is that this law speaks to the needs of people with disability in Uganda, in Kenya, in the whole of East Africa. So that's the reason we are here, and we pray that the processes can be faster.
Faces quite a number of challenges. For us in Uganda, we are a little bit okay because we have some legal frameworks that we are put in place to address issues of disability, but others are not yet there. But even us in Uganda, some of them are not implemented. So there is need to have the act that brings all together these countries, so that we speak the same language as the East African community and as far as disability issues are concerned.
Feel accommodated for us to be able to contribute comfortably. So if this bill is really put into practice, if it is effected, if it is passed as a law, then we are protected and we are free to come and do our part as development partners, as citizens of the East African community, to be able to contribute positively to the development of the East African community. It has taken long to be passed because the people that developed it did not have enough support to bring it to the parliament to be heard, to to show the backup that it needed. But now that we have come together, we are going to do our part as citizens of different countries to make
because you cannot punish people because this involves money. Enforcement mechanism should be in the form of incentives. So, but also there is need to look at what they call compliance audits by national governments.
To the EALA Parliament is really ensuring that we have resources that can be able, that can ensure the passing of this bill, especially in all countries. This has been like one of the first meetings we've had in East Africa, and we hope that other countries can copy this and push it in other countries, maybe in Rwanda, Burundi. So we also call upon donors to support this, and we pray that we can have different stakeholders.
The Minister of State for Primary Education, Dr. Joyce Muriku Kaduchu, has reaffirmed government's commitment to transforming Uganda's technical and vocational education and training sector into a more dynamic, practical and inclusive system aimed at equipping young people with job-ready skills. Kaduchu made the remarks while officiating the national skills competitions held at Chiryadongo Technical Institute, where students from various institutions showcased hands-on competencies in different technical fields. The event highlighted government's effort to strengthen skills development as a key driver of youth employment and national industrial growth. Take a look.
The National Technical and Vocational Education and Training Skills Competition have been held at Chiryadongo Technical Institute, bringing together students from various technical institutions across the country to showcase their practical skills and innovation. The event was organized by World Skills Uganda in partnership with the Ministry of Education and Sports with the support from the Korea International Cooperation Agency, KOICA. While officiating at the event, the State Minister for Primary Education, Dr. Joyce Muriku Kaduchu, reaffirmed government's commitment to strengthening skills development by aligning training programs with the industry needs.
To building highly skilled workforce. They provide an opportunity for our young people to showcase their talents, to test their competencies against national standards, and to prepare for regional and international competitions.
She further emphasized that the government is promoting entrepreneurship among young people rather than producing job seekers.
Strong partnership between training institutions and industry is very essential if we have to be relevant, realize quality and employability of our graduates.
KOICA Country Director Jehi Ann noted that the agency remains committed to supporting Uganda in strengthening technical and vocational education for young people.
Recognize that transforming Uganda's TVET sector is a shared journey. We highly value the continued collaboration among different partners, including NABEL and stakeholders, working together to build a more coherent, inclusive, and responsive skills development system for every learner.
The competitions provided a platform for participants to demonstrate their technical abilities, exchange ideas, and promote excellence in vocational training as Uganda continues to invest in skills development as a driver of employment and economic growth. Abdul Nasir Lubwama for UBC.
The Office of the Prime Minister, through the Ministry of Tertiary Affairs, has announced the reinstatement of micro-projects in the next financial year. This initiative had previously been suspended following the reallocation of funds to other socio-economic government programs aimed at alleviating poverty across the country. Oko Joseph reports.
Micro-projects under the Office of the Prime Minister empower vulnerable communities, support women, youth and persons with disabilities through income-generating activities.
These micro-projects have been helping the vulnerables. They have been helping a category of people who may not necessarily be able to benefit from PDM.
We are very happy and we are appreciating all the leaders
our leaders of Uganda, especially the team of OPM group. Thank you very much, our leaders. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the care and the love.
These projects have been in operation for over a decade with structured support and appraisal mechanism to enhance household income generation.
It is demand driven. We don't force it on you. You must be the one to come and say, I need help. Number 3, it is for income enhancement. That's our focus. Put it in something that will make your life better.
However, they were suspended after funds were reallocated to other government poverty alleviation programs across the country.
I've had discussions with people who think that now that we have PDM, now that we have Emyoga and all those other special funds, but which are countrywide, that affirmative action ministries are not really that necessary anymore. And often it is the reason why we are having difficulty getting the budget that we request for.
At Iteso Sub-Region's district review meeting, the Prime Minister's office announced restating projects beginning next financial year.
The intervention is aimed at improving the socio-economic well-being of households, promoting social mobilization for development, peace building and reconciliation, empowering communities and individuals to harness their potential and contribute to increased income levels and self-employment in the sub-region.
Local leaders commended the Ministry of Test Affairs leadership for tirelessly improving vulnerable people's lives across the Teso sub-region. Oku Joseph, UBC.
When you don't use Momo, you are forced to quarrel.
Mama, nkwenye kumitano.
Ompaire kumibiri.
Abantu abakuluma atandise obuyayo mwene.
Obuyayo obuliga.
Iwe.
Ngobi yanko
aba mubibozi sente dange ninzade kolera ngobi nakolera sente dange.
Save yourself from quarreling. Use the Momo app or dial *165 *3# to pay and enjoy zero charges below 5k. That's the power of Momo.
It's our mission to secure your money.
Protecting your money is as important as earning it. It is for this reason that the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda, DPF, was established by the government of Uganda to provide deposit protection to customers of regulated financial institutions. In the unlikely event that your commercial bank, credit institution or microfinance deposit-taking institution fails, the DPF will pay you up to 10 million Uganda shillings. Keep your personal information such as national identification number, mobile phone or an alternative bank account updated with your banker. Terms and conditions apply. For more information, contact DPF at Aha Towers, Plot 7 Lodell Road, Kampala. Call 0312 206 400 or visit our website at www.dpf.or.ug.
We are the DPF. We protect your money. Protection Fund of Uganda.
It's back, bigger and with more business opportunities. It's the Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo Poate 2026, Uganda's flagship tourism event. Poate 2026 will take place from the 21st to the 23rd of May 2026 at the Speak Resort Convention Center, Munyonyo, under the theme Wanderlust. It's your time to thrive. Yes, it's your time to tap into Uganda's renewed optimism and tourism growth. Tourism stakeholders, travel trade partners, and tourism enthusiasts will be part of the Poate 2026. Come and network with like-minded people and unlock new business opportunities. To participate, register at www.poate.co.ug. Poate 2026 is brought to you by Uganda Tourism Board and partners.
Does science build the economy? At National Science Week 2026, see innovations that transform industries, create jobs, and drive Uganda towards a $500 billion economy. Smart investors, discover what works and where to invest. The event runs from 30th April to 3rd of May 2026 at Kololo Independence Grounds. Free entrance to all. The theme, STI Works, powering Uganda to a $500 billion economy. Don't just watch the future, invest in it. Brought to you by the Science, Technology and Innovation Secretariat, STI, making Uganda the best.
In 1986, a new chapter began. A fundamental change was etched into the heart of our nation. Uganda has since then witnessed a socio-economic transformation under the leadership of President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Through peace and security of persons and property, economic growth, infrastructure expansion, health improvements, education, regional integration, industrialization, digital transformation, youth and women empowerment, wealth creation, among others. A nation once in recovery is now a beacon of regional stability. The people have spoken, and the NRM government has been given another term in office. The Board of Directors, Management and Staff of the Uganda Broadcasting Corporation proudly congratulate His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni Tibuhaburwa upon his resounding victory in the recent elections. Witness history as it happens as we broadcast the swearing-in ceremony on Tuesday, the 12th of May 2026, live at the Kololo Independence Grounds, here on UBC TV, our radio stations, and all our digital platforms. Ugandans, let's protect our gains. Long live NRM, long live Uganda. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
We'll come back from that short commercial break. We get into the business stories where today's Uganda's tourism sector is on a strong rebound, recording steady growth and renewed investor confidence in 2025. Speaking during the dissemination of tourism performance statistics in Kampala, Minister of State for Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities, Martin Mugara, praised the industry's resilience, highlighting its continued expansion as a key driver of the national economy. The latest figures point to the recovering sector that is steadily regaining its pre-pandemic momentum, reinforcing optimism about the future of tourism in Uganda. We have more in the following report.
Tourism remains one of Uganda's key foreign exchange earners, serving both domestic and international markets. However, during the COVID-19 pandemic, the sector experienced a sharp decline as travel restrictions and widespread tour cancellations severely disrupted the operations. Following the global recovery and reopening of borders, Uganda's tourism industry has recorded a strong and remarkable rebound.
I am pleased to note that the 2025 findings point to a full recovery and a strong growth of the tourism sector. This reflects the resilience of the sector and the effectiveness of the strategic interventions being implemented by government in collaboration with our stakeholders. As a ministry, we are also making deliberate efforts to strengthen the tourism data ecosystem. Key among these is the ongoing development and operationalization of the Tourism Information Management System.
While launching the dissemination of the tourism industry performance statistics for the year 2025, the State Minister for Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities noted that the sector's achievements are a clear indication of the effectiveness of strategic interventions.
Tourism receipts grew to approximately $1.62 billion, like was told, while the average length of stay increased to 8.8 nights, reflecting deeper visitor engagement and higher economic value. Importantly, visitor spending remains strong, with average expenditure per tourist estimated at $986 per trip, like you're told, and even higher for leisure tourists. I think it was 2,100 and something, like we're told, confirming that Uganda is increasingly attracting higher value visitors. Tourism continues to play a critical role in Uganda's economy. The sector contributed an estimated 5.9% to our GDP, and it directly supported over 876,000 jobs, accounting for approximately 7.5% of total employment, and continues to be one of the leading sources of foreign exchange earnings for our country.
In 2025, the tourism industry contributed 5.9% to Uganda's GDP. This performance also triggered a 12% increase in investment, which subsequently boosted government tax revenues.
Overall, domestic tourism generated 5.4 trillion. 5.4 trillion. We saw international tourism generated 5.8 trillion. But domestic tourism is equally generating 5.4 trillion.
However, this recovery and success did not occur by chance. It was driven by a series of deliberate initiatives and reforms, as explained by David Mhumuza, an economist at the Uganda Tourism Board.
Under marketing and promotion, which is particularly under Uganda Tourism Board, we have continued to undertake commercials and advertisements on the key stations in Uganda. This is in a bid to promote our domestic tourism and also to amplify our social media coverage across the country. Then we have showcased Destination Uganda together with the private sector at key leisure and at key expos across the country. This we did it in Magical Kenya, World Travel Market in London, and IBTM Expo in Spain.
I'm Ivan Juko for UBC.
Have at least 50.
Thank you, Ivan Juko. Over the last decade, Uganda has made commendable progress in advancing its digital transformation agenda through mobile innovations, financial inclusion, and e-governance initiatives. However, participants at the Uganda Deep Technology Summit 2026 say that the country's national artificial intelligence ecosystem remains fragmented, underfunded, and in urgent need of strategic support to accelerate adoption, attract investment, and unlock opportunities for youth and startups. Take a look.
The Uganda Deep Tech Technology Summit 2026, held under the theme Positioning Uganda as a Regional Gateway for Applied AI Innovation, convenes policymakers, researchers, innovators, industry leaders, startups, youth entrepreneurs and development partners from across the globe.
And we had this great pleasure and honor to be invited to help Uganda in its reflection around deep tech. When people think of Africa, they usually don't think of deep tech. They would think of the US, but Africa has scientists. It has the capacity to build solutions that are here to solve the problems of the continent. This is our second edition here. This time we have a more narrow lens, looking at specifically AI and applied AI, and try to see how we can get Uganda to leapfrog into this revolution.
Top on the agenda of the two-day summit was aligning strategy, accelerating applied AI use cases, strengthening cross-sector collaboration, and catalyzing investments that can turn research and policy into scalable real-world impact.
So we talk about AI and we say that foundational mathematics are fundamental to building AI. We don't want people to just be AI consumers, but we want to be AI creators.
What we need to be thinking of is how do we improve teacher efficiency so that, number one, we can improve learning outcomes.
To the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, the summit comes at a critical time, providing a platform to share insights and experiences that can fast-track Uganda's adoption of AI while building local capacity.
Uganda needs to not only be a consumer of artificial intelligence, but a builder, and building at all the layers, at the energy layer, infrastructure layer, at the application layer, and all the others that exist. Because guess what? If someone is going to build chips using your rare earth, might as well be you. If someone is going to build data centers, you might as well be the one building them. If someone is building applications, you might as well be building them, because the opportunity is here and it is yours as much as it's anyone else's.
According to David Gonahasa, the team lead at Industry 4.0, Uganda faces a defining moment to move beyond passive adoption and become an active contributor to AI solutions tailored for Africa's development needs.
Today we still rely heavily on foreign platforms or foreign large language models. We need to build our own local language models. We need to build applications for specific use cases or specific industries.
As the global economy shifts toward AI-driven system and intelligent infrastructure, experts warned that although pockets of excellence exist in universities across the country and research institutions, Uganda's broader AI ecosystem still lacks coordinated funding, policy implementation, and commercialization pathways. Dennis Igoa for UBC.
When you don't use Momo, you get insulted by strangers. Save yourself from insults. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3# to pay and enjoy zero charges below 5K. That's the power of Momo.
Are you looking for a home away from home? Then this is the place for you. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha and welcome to Hotel Le Confidential. With 84 comfortable rooms where you can relax and feel safe. Each room has a lovely view of green vegetation, Wi-Fi, air conditioning, and a tasty breakfast.
Children can have fun at our kids' water park and our kids' play area. You can also enjoy our world-class health club, spa, sauna, gym, boutique, and sky blue swimming pool.
Thank you for choosing Hotel Le Confidential, where every stay is unforgettable. Come and stay in comfort, right at home, today, tomorrow, and always.
Welcome to the sports segment of UBC News Tonight, where Uganda under-20 women's national team departed for Ghana to compete in the Africa qualifiers for the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup 2026. The team has been in camp for a month at the Technical Center in Jeru, and Amon Ngawa has a detailed report on the sports story.
Team, the Queen's Cranes head coach Shelly Ulanda Bolts has named the final traveling squad for the final round of the Africa qualifiers for the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup 2026 against Ghana.
I told the girls this morning, the players that are good enough to play for this team, they will play. But they have to work to get into this team.
The first leg is scheduled for Sunday, 3rd May 2026 at the Accra Sports Stadium. The Queen Cranes completed their final training session at the FIFA Technical Center in Jeru before departing for Accra. The traveling delegation was headed by the FIFA Executive Committee member Agnes Mogena. The squad is largely comprised of the core players who eliminated Zambia in the previous round, with only one change in midfield. Zainabu Birungi comes into the team, replacing Dokas Kisache. The team has been in residential camp at the FIFA Technical Center in Jeru as preparations intensified ahead of the crucial encounter. After the game in Ghana, both teams will compete again in the return leg after a week in Kampala.
One against Namibia, that was into the second leg when Uganda beat Namibia by 2-0, and now today.
That's all we had for you this evening from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. now. Thank you so much for watching. Do join me later on at 10 p.m. for more news coming your way. Thank you. Bye-bye.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
When you don't use Momo, you are forced to quarrel.
Mama, nkwenye nkumitano. Abantu abakulu atandise obuyayo.
Obuyayo obuliga.
Iwe.
Ngobi yankoba.
Sente dange nizade kolera ngobi nakolera sente dange.
Save yourself from quarreling. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3# to pay and enjoy zero